Hello everyone, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super excited to have you here. We are going to dive right into a you and them reading. I do just want to, a little moment of housekeeping, just say this on a video so that you all can hear me. I generally, if you email me on a weekend, even if it's about a weekday reading or something, I'm probably not going to respond. I typically do not check my email. My weekends are my sacred space. I do offer 2 private readings on Saturdays. But if you reach out to me on a weekend, I am probably not going to respond. I'm probably not even going to read your email. Also, Mondays are the days when I do private readings, and private readings are absolutely exhausting for me. That's why I only do them once a week, and I only offer so few every week. Even sometimes people like to communicate a lot, and they will write to me a lot ahead of their private reading and after their private reading. My private readings, I didn't set up my website I don't do any of my own technology. A very, very dear friend of mine did all that for me. And she set it up so that Zoom cuts off after 40 minutes because I do get people asking me questions and asking me to answer things and asking for things after the half an hour time is over. So Zoom will automatically cut us off at 40 minutes. I usually try to say something if I'm paying attention that Zoom is going to cut us off so that we can say our goodbyes. But if it happens that Zoom cuts you off, chances are I'm not going to respond or I'm not going to reach out to you because I literally have enough time, especially when Zoom does cut off, to clear the energy, reset my decks, and meditate on the next person's energy and get set to give that person my 100% presence in their reading. So, and then at the end of the day, I am extremely exhausted. Like I cannot, it usually takes me a full day to recover from one full day of private readings. So, so please do not expect a response. Please do not reach out to me across every platform. I have people that will even go find me on Instagram and send me messages. I will respond to you when I am able to respond to you. It is only me. And my priorities, like as a human being and a person, are to take care of myself first, and then everything else. So that's what I do, and that's how I live my life. And so I just don't want anyone to have an unreasonable expectation of me communicating with you. That's just the way that it is, and it's not going to change. So anyway, I'm very happy to have you. I'm very happy to meet you over private readings. I had some really amazing private readings yesterday. But please do not like go commenting on videos and then emailing me and then, it's good. Like I will get back to you. I will see your message. You can also look at what you paid for. You paid for a half an hour reading and you were on with me for 40 minutes. So you can then glean that the reading was over. But whatever. Anyway, moving on. We are going to dive into this you and them reading. And I am really excited. I don't know why. I've had so many images and energy and like words coming through this morning. And I was very guided to do a you and them. And then I looked and it has been like almost exactly a month since the last one. So, and we've had the new moon in Pisces. We've had a lot of things changing and developing. So I am really interested to see what comes out today. Anyway, I do want to thank all of you who are my supporters, who show up, who watch the videos, who like, who share, who subscribe, who comment. I really deeply appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. That is why I will get back to you when I can. And to those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I'm sorry that if you sat through that housekeeping. I really always like to just dive straight into my readings and not do things like that. But when there is a cluster phobe of these occurrences at one period in time, I feel like, okay, it's in the energy. I have to address it so that I don't have to continuously address it individually. All right, guys, here we go. just keep in mind, this is a general reading, and also the roles may be reversed. I will be doing the masculine on this side and the feminine on this side. Put yourself where you belong. You do not have to be a man to be a masculine. You do not have to be a woman to be a feminine. All right, here we go. And if there is no one in particular in your mind, this can even be your own masculine energy and your own feminine energy, and it can be talking about how to bring those two things into balance within you. So definitely take it how it resonates and what intuitively feels like it belongs to you. All right. So for Pisces, please, Spirit, can you please show us the masculine energy? Wow. Okay. Shooting out. Oh, we have the groundhog spirit. All right. Groundhog spirit. Okay. And the feminine, man, every single time lately, the feminine, it feels like has been getting two cards. Like one, she's more dimensional than one dimension. You know, not that the masculine is one dimensional, but it's like, it's almost as if possibly there's even some like transformation going on or some rounding out of the character going on. So we do start off with this groundhog spirit, and it says time to let go. And I have this feeling of just like, I'm not ready to let go. I hate to let go. I don't want to let go. It's like everything in me is holding on, but I'm telling myself I have to let go. Okay. And the feminine energy, we have electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life, and lizard spirit, dream the world into being. So this is a powerful time of creation for the feminine energy. This is definitely one where this almost feels like a balance of masculine and feminine energy happening within the feminine, of, you know, receiving divine guidance, divine inspiration with dream the world into being, and with the electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life, employing that masculine energy to make free will decisions and choices to like aggressively pursue the life you're dreaming of. Sorry. On the bottom of the deck, which is for me the energy of the connection, it says rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time. I feel like something can multiply here. I feel like something can be built upon here. So let's see. It may even be a time of new beginnings. There's also an energy with this rabbit of like being very sensitive, you know, to what's being said, to what the energy is. It's like, what's the gauge here? Or like, not what's the gauge, but it's almost like the universe or something is trying to gauge what's happening here. Like if it's getting closer or farther, or like, I don't know. Okay, let's see what's happening here. All right, let's dive into masculine's energy a little bit deeper here. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. What is this, spirit? What is the masculine energy? Somebody didn't say something when they had the chance. That's what I'm picking up here. You have this expression. Okay, it feels to me like there's a masculine here who was it's like researching. They were trying to figure out what this was, what this connection was, if it was something. They were trying to even figure out the feminine, and it's kind of like, I actually get the energy of someone who spent a lot of time observing the feminine energy, or either it took a long time for this masculine to get a chance with the feminine, For some people, I'm getting he was like a little shy. The masculine energy was a little bit shy, was a little bit, just shy to come forward. It was like kind of protecting themselves a little bit. For others, it's like the feminine may not have really seen the masculine, or may not have really it's like there are some people who are just physically attracted. They see an attractive person, they're like, man, I'm attracted, like I'm gonna go hit that up. And then there are some people who are like, I kind of need to know who the person is. Like, yeah, I find looks attractive, but I actually find personality or intelligence or maturity or something much more important. And it feels like there may have, like, I can't tell if it's the masculine or the feminine, or it's a bit of a mirrored situation here where it's like, for both the masculine and the feminine, it's kind of important for them to sort of know what they're dealing with, or they're not going to really take a leap of faith until there's some level of a surety that, yeah, this is someone worth taking that kind of risk, like the risk of heartbreak or the risk of being hurt. But it's like this masculine feels that they did, open up, that they did sort of, that they were allowed to even show who they actually were, or they, it's almost like I cannot tell if it's like I actually did show you who I was, or I actually did let you into my inner sanctum, or I did, give you a chance. It's like I let you see who I was, or like I gave everything I had, or that, or I was trying to embrace this. It's like I feel this masculine feels in some way that they gave more, opened up more, or they were getting ready to, or they are getting ready to. There's just this, like, you see how it's all closed off and closed up, and then it's like I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, I'll show you who I am, or I'll let you see the real me, or whatever, and I was really embracing it. Something has happened, and I because the groundhog spirit is trying to let go. And to me, it has to do with the fact that this masculine feels like they did show their true self, or they did try to open up, or they did try to embrace the connection to the highest of their ability, or they felt they did. But there is some kind of new perspective and some clarity coming through, where expression is involved, where it's like this person, it's one thing to say, these are my innermost truths, and to go, wow, this person must really realize how much they mean to me because I'm letting them into this part that I don't let people into. And it's another thing to say, it means so much to me, and you mean so much to me because you're one of the very few people I can open up with. Do you see what I'm saying? People are not mind readers. And even if they do, quote unquote, know that that's a big deal, and that, yeah, that means you have feelings for them, or that means that this or that or the other, even if they sort of know it, people will only go so long off knowing it without hearing it, without having that validated, without having that confirmed on some deeper level. And I feel, this masculine may be a bit of an artistic spirit, but I also feel this energy of risk around artistic expression here. And what often holds people back from creating the art that they want to create is bravery. It's the same almost thing that it is when it comes to love, right? I mean, creating is an act of love. And it feels like because the feminine's energy is so centered around creativity, like she could be an artist, he could be an artist. But it almost feels to me that like, I feel this energy of, oh, hell, I'm just going to go for it, which is really how you break down the barrier with art. You know, we play all these tricks with ourselves, like we paint our canvas a background color so that when we go to get our canvas out to paint, we're not intimidated by the white canvas, by the fact that there's nothing on it, and whatever mark we make, you know, is the beginning of whatever it is we're doing, and we could mess it up at any time, you know? So it's like, we'll just paint the whole background so that there's already paint on it, so that there's less risk involved in paint, you know, and putting a brush stroke down. So there are mental games that we play with ourselves, and I'm getting that energy here, especially around this artistic energy of just like, you know, I may not be comfortable in this realm, I may not have it all together, but there's nothing stopping me. Like, I can do it. Like, I am capable here. But it's kind of like, there is just this acknowledgement though, like if I don't, or if I haven't, or whatever, this masculine feels like he has to let go. I mean, I feel that strong. Like, I don't want to, I hate to do it. I'm not ready to, I'm holding on with both hands, you know. But it's like the feminine may have said, you got to let me go. So I don't know. Let's dive into the feminine's energy. After I just sent half the cards flying on the floor. Okay, so this feminine, I do feel she's super feminine. Like, I do feel, you know, she's... I feel she's maybe intimidating. We have both of these cards here. Oh, actually, I didn't realize it, but there's 3 cards. Yeah, this feminine is intimidating. She's attractive. She's, you know, she definitely knows that the masculine is attracted to her. There's an energy here of, you know, I'm quite capable of taking care of myself kind of energy. Yeah. This feels like a hard-fought victory. Wow. I read a quote this morning on Threads, where it was like, it's always the silent girls that you know are well versed in war. Because they have been through enough battles to know that peace is the ultimate answer, or that like peace is the way to go, that being at peace is way better than being at war. But they also, you know, they will just sort of allow things to play out, and then they will walk away if necessary to protect that peace. It takes a lot for them to engage in war. And it's, at first, like, I was like, man, this energy with these high heels and stuff, this feels very yang, this feels very masculine, right? And we were talking earlier with these 2 cards about the one being, you know, hey, I'm using my free will choices to support my dreams, and the other being, I am open and receptive to, you know, a divine inspiration, and to the messages of like where I'm supposed to go, or being led or guided by the divine, like opening up to receive, right? So both that masculine and feminine energy. And there's this energy here of kind of, it's like I really tap into someone who I feel like comes across very feminine, but there is this super intimidating thing about her, because she owns her situation. She owns her energy. She owns her life. She knows who she is. And, you know, it has been a hard fought victory. This feminine is in alignment with her highest self, and she is fearless. She does not make decisions based on, oh gosh, you know, I'm afraid I might lose this person, or, you know, she may make she would be much more likely to make a decision of, I'm afraid I'm going to lose myself, than I'm afraid I'm going to lose this person. And she's owning it. But there is this, I am waiting, I am looking for the right person, and I am trying to be open and be relaxed and let it come to me. But you know, you have this pattern energy with this clock and this date book, and it feels to me a little bit, I am feeling in this feminine's energy of like, how long is it going to take for someone to show up? Because I feel like this feminine knows who she is so much and can be so intimidating that it can be hard to find masculines who are ready to take that on, or are confident enough to take that on, or It's interesting because I do get, there's almost like this, you know, sex appeal or something around this feminine, like a magnetic pull around this feminine. It doesn't have to be a sex appeal, but there's like an attraction point there. And so then you attract people in, and then you sort of like, have you ever watched those people that do magnet fishing? A long time ago, I saw on YouTube this video of these people, and they had this like really heavy duty magnet, and they were throwing it into some river in Amsterdam or something, and they were pulling like forks and coins and phones and sunglasses out of the river. And anyway, it feels like this feminine is sort of like that magnet. You know, it's like I attract all these things, but then, you know, after I sort through it, and I throw back the things that aren't for me, that I can look at and say are not for me, there's very little left. And if there is something left that I am interested in, you know, I feel like it turns out to be, I'm getting like this cell phone that doesn't turn on, you know, because it's been in the water energy. Like there's so much potential. It is a phone, you know, it could at one time communicate and do all these processing and do all this stuff, right? But in its current condition, it's like not really working. It looks like a phone, but it doesn't work like a phone. So it just has the potential of being a phone, but it's not. It's giving me like some insecure energy and just some like broken energy. And so, you know, but she's like trying to stay positive, and she's trying to, you know, trust in the universe and divine timing, and just be fearless and stay in alignment and make decisions based off what she knows is in her highest and best, and what she is hoping to find in her future. You can see in every single one of these cards with the feminine, she is future facing. She is looking ahead to what's coming. She's not focused on the past at all. But she is looking for the ultimate connection. She is looking for something that lasts forever. All right. Before we dive into the tarot, I just want to get a couple messages on the connection, because there's obviously something here. With this let it go and the groundhog, it's like haunting me. It's like this masculine feels like he has to let it go, but he doesn't want to. Wow, first card that fell out is unfinished business. See, okay. See, I told you. This masculine, I believe, feels like he should have said something. He felt at the time that he was living it forward that kind of just opening up or showing his true self would sort of tell this feminine, hey, you know, I'm in this, I'm investing, I'm, you know, I'm giving this all I have, or this isn't who I normally am. Like, you should know how I feel about you based on how much I'm opening up to you. But like, in retrospect, with the clarity and the new perspective, it's like this person realizes that they actually needed to say it, that they actually needed to articulate it, or that they needed to validate it, you know, what the feminine knew, you know, or could glean from his behavior. So we have this unfinished business. We still have things to resolve and discuss. And then we have secrets. I haven't told you everything. So I think this masculine is sort of feeling this unfinished energy. And I think, you know, it's like the feminine may be looking forward or looking on to other things, but the masculine is still holding this heart going, man, you know, I didn't say everything I needed to say. I feel like there are still things that, you know, need to be resolved. And then we have this time. I'm afraid it's too late to take action. So that's why I feel like this masculine is just convincing themselves, like, look, it's easier if you just let go, but they can't. And then you have hope. I haven't given up on us yet. That's why, because they still have hope. Wow, okay. Let me get a little bit more on this connection. Oh my, you guys, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on for this. I know it shouldn't. The idea of you with someone else makes me sick. The idea of you being better for a person who's not me makes my heart pound. The thought of you loving someone else makes my stomach churn. I'll choose for you. I know that you're not the person for me. I will make the choice for both of us. It's over. Oh, that's not... What if we tried? I wish I had the chance to love you, but for now all I can say is that I have love in my heart for you. Okay. So it's giving me a little bit of, there could be a fear of abandonment here, or like some kind of insecurity in the masculine's energy. And it may even be exacerbated by this like super powerful feminine energy of that's fearless and aligned and knows who she is and knows what she wants and what she needs and is always creating and always future facing. You know, this masculine is like, oh my God, where do I fit into that? Or like, how do I, you know, show that I even deserve to be in that energy, even in a way, you know, I mean, I hate saying it in that way, but it sort of feels that he feels that way. And so it's kind of like the feminine may have even asked the masculine for some kind of confirmation or some kind of validation or some kind of truth. And maybe the masculine sort of did the best they could or whatever, but it feels like there was something missing. There was something that the feminine needed that she didn't get. And that's not to say that's the masculine's fault. That's not to say anything. You know, sometimes it's like, that's just the way it goes, you know? But it feels like the feminine, I almost feel like there's a conversation here where, you know, the intention going into it is just to sort of like ask questions or be like a fact-finding mission and like try to find out where the other person stands. And it sort of feels like it escalated into this place because whatever the conversation was, however it went, I feel like it triggered the other person, or I think the feminine triggered the masculine is what I think. And so I think the masculine was like, okay, you know what? I see what's happening here. And I think the masculine sort of may have ended it or may have chosen a path that like felt sort of fait accompli, or like, but I feel it was out of fear. I feel it was out of being triggered and just feeling like, if I don't choose this, this is the eventuality. It will come, and it's either going to come today because I say, okay, fine, I can't meet your standard, or it comes down the line because I fail to meet the standard. Do you know what I mean? But this masculine cannot let this feminine go. This masculine has feelings for this feminine, I feel like. And, you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, why didn't I just say something? Like, why didn't I just admit that? Why didn't I just acknowledge that? But I think the masculine knows why he didn't. I don't think it's because he doesn't feel anything. Obviously he feels, but I think it is because the masculine, has a hard time expressing it. There's a necklace, like almost a mala necklace around the roundhouse neck with the turquoise tassel, which is associated with the throat chakra. It feels like, wow. All right, so I ask, I mean, it feels like something that could be restrictive at times, like it's loosened up, but it's like the masculine doesn't like anything that constricts its neck kind of energy of like, you know, like I don't want to, like, I don't like things that make me feel uncomfortable or awkward or like I have to say something. Oh, yeah. Okay, so in the masculine's thoughts, we have the Chariot, the Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. You know, I am going to clarify this Knight of Swords. We have very fast-moving energy, so I feel like this masculine hasn't really landed on a space where, you know, his thoughts are really cohesive. Oh my God, the Knight of Swords being clarified by the Knight of Swords. Oh my. See, we've got the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So I think this masculine is like, I'm not sure where they are in this cycle of the Eight of Swords, because it's kind of like either they're still in this loop of, you know, always coming to the same conclusion. It's like, why didn't I communicate, or why don't I communicate? And then it's like, oh, it just makes me feel so yuck to think about even communicating, or like what I would have to say, or how that conversation would go, or, you know, what they would say back to me, so I'm not going to say anything. You know, and there are a whole bunch of loops that I feel like are playing in this masculine's mind, even like, well, what if I come forward and say something now? Well, what if I rush in? Well, what if I tell this feminine that like I really do see them as like a life partner, or someone that I could really have a lot of success and victory with, or like but it's always like taking them back to the same place where which is a space of self-entrapment where they don't enable themselves to make a move. I do see something kind of freeing up here. I feel, so there's justice here. So in order for there to be justice here, it usually means that something happened that wasn't totally fair, wasn't totally right, or wasn't totally in alignment. And it feels like that could have been a decision. This masculine may have felt a lot of pressure to make a decision, or may have actually even had physically a lot going on in their life that made it really impossible for them to think about taking on one more thing, or, you know, it was a block. I mean, and it would have prevented them from being able to come up with some new idea to break free of the Eight of Swords, because, you know, they were fully consumed with this. You have the Seven of Pentacles underneath that, and you have the Seven of Pentacles here. So the Seven of Pentacles is kind of like divine timing, but it's also this energy, and I did get this sense from the masculine with this like embracing energy, where it's like, it's almost like the masculine had in their head that like, well, if I invest, or if I keep showing interest, or I keep giving attention, or, you know, like, this could be something simple like, well, if I'm liking all your Instagram posts, you know I'm still here, or you know I'm still around, or you know that I'm still open to, you know, the universe working it out for us, or bringing this back around. And there is a sense of unfinished business with the Seven of Pentacles, because it is like, I've planted the seed, but it, you know, it hasn't reached its full potential yet. And that potential still exists in the seed itself, right? So there's kind of this energy of, I don't think it's over. You do have 2 sevens here, so sevens could be significant, but also with the sevens, there is kind of a spiritual lesson tied up to this. And it feels like with the Seven of Pentacles and the Chariot, that the lesson here is about not acting on what you know, or kind of taking a passive energy when action is sort of required. And, you know, it's like, not every day do we meet people that we can like join with and feel successful with and feel an equal partnership with. I mean, I'm even talking about friends. I'm even talking about, you know, group projects. I'm talking about, you know, even when you go to the store and you're asking a question like, hey, do you have this in the back? It's like not all the time do you get someone helping you where you feel like, yeah, they're actually really helping me, or yeah, I feel like it's, you know, I can trust what they're saying back. It is giving me all of these examples. So I'm not sure why, but it's saying like, that's how rare it is. And when you find someone where it is on an intimate level or a potential life partnership level, or a, wow, you know, we could really accomplish a lot or do something that doesn't get done that often, you know what I mean? Or doesn't happen that often. But then I'm sort of taking this passive approach to it. There is this energy of, okay, well, when you do that, sometimes you lose it. You lose the opportunity, you lose the person, you know, especially when you're dealing with someone who's very future facing like this, who's like, you know, I know my worth, I know my value, and I am in alignment. And I know that all I can do is be myself in alignment and stay true to that, you know? And so it's almost like the masculine is sort of in their head, like wishing that the feminine would sort of let the masculine pull them out of alignment, or accept just what they were willing to offer, like, and sort of read their mind and know that the masculine also means that, you know, this means I think we can be successful. This means that I can see this going the distance, because the masculine can. But I do think that the masculine is having some kind of realization around this, with the 2 Knight of Swords and the clarity and the new perspective cards here. And it's almost as if they are sort of realizing the injustice, or they are realizing that something wasn't right and that they want to make it right. And with the Queen of Swords, there's this energy, I feel that is the feminine's energy in the masculine's mind, where they may have said something strong. This may be replaying in the masculine's mind, and the masculine may be thinking of things to respond, or they may be thinking about how they did respond a bit recklessly without really thinking it through. The feminine may have just been saying, hey, look, I need this from you. I need to know where I stand. And the masculine may have been like, well, I know I'm only going to disappoint you, so let me just cut this off for the both of us. You know what I mean? Kind of energy. And it's like the feminine has the one hand open, like, I'm willing to listen to whatever it is that you have to say. And the masculine, it feels like they kind of got triggered and responded a bit recklessly without really thinking along those lines. But now I feel like they are seeing it. They're sort of seeing this action and this behavior. And with the Queen of Swords upright, the masculine thinks that the feminine was justified, or he doesn't think that it was unfair. I'll just say that. All right, so what is in the masculine's heart space for this feminine? Oof. He is feeling the loss. There's not a doubt in my mind that this masculine wants this feminine back. We have the 6 of Cups, the Empress, the Fool, and the 5 of Pentacles. You know, this is a very, very, very strong energy of, you know, I feel like this is the one, the Empress, like this is the queen of my heart kind of energy. And with the 5 of Pentacles here, this masculine is feeling shut out. They are feeling the change in temperature, the change in degree here between when they were, you know, going for it and, you know, embracing this connection to now. It's like, you know, it's like my happiness is gone. And honestly, it's like nothing has changed. You know, I still care deeply for the feminine. And I still think that they're probably the one that is worth taking a risk for, but now I've lost access, you know, so I'm still having these feelings. I just have nowhere to put it. I just have nothing to do with it. I mean, this is heartbreak. This is the chasm between what I'm really experiencing in real life and what I know, what I feel. And you have judgment on the bottom of the deck, which is like, I need another chance. I need to make this right. I need to figure this out. You do have Aquarius, Aries, Libra, Taurus, Cancer energy here. All right, so what actions is the masculine going to take? Well, we do have the Ace of Swords coming out upright. We have the Queen of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Five of Cups coming out sideways. You know, the Five of Cups, it's an imbalanced energy, but on the one hand, it is, you know, really focusing on what's gone wrong, on what we cannot fix, on what has already been seen, felt, done, that we can't take back, we can't trade, we can't make it upright, we can't put the spilled milk back in the cup. And on the other hand, it is the bridge over troubled water. It is hey, look, there's still two cups upright. And it's like, you got to search your soul and figure out, you know, what direction it is that you want to go in. Are you headed toward creating a new, solid, healthy, stable, upright connection? Or are you letting this go and just looking at it as, man, that was a shame. You know, that was a huge opportunity at love and I lost it. I spilled it. I messed it up, or it got messed up. Like, it's not even a judgment thing. It's just, this happened and I have to come to a place of peace and acceptance. And this really is so profoundly, you know, what this original groundhog spirit is saying. I mean, he is holding on to that heart with both hands, but he's saying it's time to let it go. And so this is creating some kind of internal conflict, and the purpose of which is change with the Five here. So it's like, it is an imbalanced energy. And so one of these things has to be deprioritized and the other one has to be prioritized. Like, a choice pretty much has to be made. What am I going to do? And I feel like there's also this heavy energy hanging in the air of, I don't want to have regrets. This is an important crossroads I'm standing at, and I need to look within myself before I go marching off and take some more reckless action. It is also a feeling of self-protection that I'm getting, where it's like, I need to just sort of stay with me until I feel confident, until I have made this choice, until I have a plan and a sense of direction and I know how I'm going to go making this right. But with the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the High Priestess, I do feel like this person, you know, they want to communicate. They want to have a conversation. They want to bring... It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I'll live and die by my own sword. Like, at least I will have known that I laid it all out on the line. That I will not have to live with this heavy feeling of all I needed to do was tell the feminine what I felt or what I thought, or, you know, like, be vulnerable, and I wasn't, and I didn't. And so there's almost this, I'm taking my power back from this energy and I'm going to express it. And it's kind of like, either way, if I get to hold on, I get to hold on. And if I have to let go, I have to let go. But like, at least I will have known that I said it all, or I did it all. I left it all on the field. You know what I mean? And I think, this masculine does, I feel like, respect the feminine, in that the feminine seems to be very connected to their higher self and very, sitting in security, where this masculine sort of feels all over the place. They sort of feel like, I'm trying to be the best version of myself in this relationship, but then I got a little reckless there with that conversation when I felt triggered, and my heart is solidly in one place, but like I'm feeling really locked out in the cold. And with the High Priestess here, it's like the masculine is sort of seeing the feminine as a mystery. Like, I don't really know what they're thinking. But they're appearing to come off very stable, very solid, like they sort of have it figured out. And it does feel like this masculine even recognizes that it's because this feminine is so tethered to their own spirituality, or their own, that they operate in their own highest and best. They're really tapped into what is in my best interest. And so the masculine knows that, they can't just come in and be like, maybe they did in the beginning, kind of like, I think you're high, here's what I have to offer you. You know what I mean? It's more of like, I have to really keep this in mind. Whatever action I take, whatever it is that I say, I have to know that this is who I'm speaking to, the High Priestess. This isn't like some, random person who, I'm just attracted to. This is like a deeper level. Yeah, see, this feminine makes this masculine feel really off balance. This masculine, it's like, I almost feel like this feminine is causing this masculine to sort of evolve, or, kind of wake up a little bit. Because it feels like this masculine kind of was just like, oh wow, you're attractive, and like kind of would be like, let me date you, and would maybe spend money on a feminine that he was attracted to, but like there wasn't emotional investment. And so to me, it's like this masculine may never have experienced a loss like this. It's got the King of Cups is coming out all crooked and sideways, and it's kind of like, I don't feel like I'm in control of my emotions. And it feels as though this is even represented in the Five of Cups, because it's like, a part of me is just trying to accept that the cups have spilled and to let it go. But the other part of me, can't get past what I feel here, or what I even see as the potential, or what I possibly, like what I actually want here, which is this Two of Cups energy. And so this masculine is really trying to take control. You got the Emperor energy here, which is, I'm trying to get a grip. I'm trying to be able to kind of make the decision that is sort of like in the highest and best of this relationship. And it's kind of, which doesn't always necessarily mean I'm going to step up and communicate. It can even mean like speaking the truth of, I'm not ready for this relationship. I'm just not emotionally where I need to be in order to be able to have this kind of relationship. And I don't want to do further damage to it. I'd rather there still maybe possibly be a chance in the future, than really drag this thing through the mud now and take all of the life from it so that it can never come together. Like, maybe I need to recognize the truth about myself. So there can be deep soul searching here with the King of Cups kind of coming out wonky, and then the Emperor coming out upright. It's like this masculine is just trying to get to a place where they can make a decision and say something and stick by it that they feel really good about, that they feel like is really in the highest and best of all. All right, so let's dive into this feminine's energy. It's like I want to stop making it worse, almost, for myself and for the feminine. There are deep feelings involved here, for sure. All right, so what is the feminine thinking? Wow. Wow. I mean, wow. The feminine is thinking, wow, she hopes that things break free. You know, she hopes that, you know, and here's the thing. I can't say specifically this feminine is thinking that this masculine is her soulmate, that she chooses him, and that she feels she could be emotionally content and settle down and be stable with this masculine. I mean, there's a huge discrepancy between what we're seeing in the feminine's thoughts and what we're seeing in the masculine's thoughts. But it can also be that like this feminine is not wasting time. She's not allowing herself to stay stagnant. You know, she is searching for a great love and someone that's going to choose her and someone that's going to choose to commit to her and someone that's capable of emotional contentment with her. And it feels like it's like kind of whether it's this masculine or it's someone else, I'm moving forward. You know, I'm trusting in the universe to bring that person into my life. And I'm focusing on the kind of relationship that I want and the belief that it's out there and that it's coming in any minute now. What I am seeking is seeking me with this Eight of Wands. All right, what is the feminine feeling? Well, the feminine is feeling the loss as well, you know. Wow. The feminine wanted this masculine to choose her. And I think she thought he had, or he was. She may have even felt that energy of him embracing the connection. But there's a difference between, oh yeah, I know something and this person told me it, or they showed me with their actions, or they committed, or, you know, they gave me what it is I'm looking for. You know, if you're showing up and you're embracing the connection and you're like, wow, you're an amazing person, but you're not willing to commit and you don't see a future, well, then guess what? You know, you're incapable of giving me what I want or need, so it doesn't even matter how I feel about you. So there's this energy with this feminine of kind of like, I feel with the Page of Swords, it's like, I know that the masculine has feelings for me, and I've observed enough in the masculine's actions to believe that this masculine does know what he wants and he does want me and that he does want to commit, but he's not showing up. And this is what I need to feel safe and secure. So maybe I'm better off, you know, like walking away. And with the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, it's almost, yeah, it's like if this feminine almost feels like, okay, if I walk away, one of two things is going to happen. The masculine's going to realize my worth and show up and treat me that way, or I'm going to get rejected. You know, I'm going to be disappointed again. But it's like staying here while this masculine is showing up unsure or unwilling or unable to give me what I want, it is selling myself short and is disrespectful to me and is, it's like settling or cutting myself short. I don't know. Is that really a phase? Okay. So what actions is the feminine going to take? Wow. The feminine's not really doing much. If the masculine comes forward, the feminine will listen. But yeah, the feminine's just trying to heal her broken heart. She's just like, you know, this is going to take a minute because this one hurt. And I need to rebalance. I need to reground. I need to recenter. And, you know, there is a thing of like, I'm going to act as if it's over. And if this person comes forward, they come forward. But the feminine's not feeling terribly confident in this action. I mean, I think she knows this is what she has to do or what she needs to do. This is what's in her highest and best. You know, she's very motivated by that energy of what is in alignment with her and what is her highest and best. But, you know, it would be a lie to say she's not nursing a bit of a broken heart and that she doesn't know that she needs to kind of like heal and take her time moving forward. I do think that the feminine is trying to have some patience with the masculine, is at least trying to buy them some time to come forward without really calling it waiting. It's kind of like, well, I'm healing, and if he comes back while I'm still healing, then fine. And if he doesn't, well, that'll be the end. Then I'm going to cut it off because it's not in my highest and best good. And I need to just focus on what's on my highest and best good. And it feels like that. It feels very, this energy feels very settled. All right, let's get some messages, shall we? I will be recording an extended reading for my membership channel where I will go through all the signs in relationship to this reading. If this is resonating, you can find out how to join my membership by going in the description box. If you're dealing with a water sign, you're getting, I'm ready for more than just texts, wishy-washy, excited, and trust me. Oof. If you're dealing with a fire sign, wait for me, cold. I want to be vulnerable with you. You are the only one who truly gets me, and I am afraid to trust. If you're dealing with an earth sign, I want to talk to you, or I am choosing you. My karmic story is ending. What we have is soul recognition, guilt, and good intentions. And if you are dealing with an air sign, it's hard for me to explain things. Controlling. We will be together again, and distant. All right, guys, this is what I have for you. I really hope it helps. I hope it brought you some peace and clarity. Like I said, I will be taking this over to an extended on my membership channel, and you can find that in information in the description box if you're interested. Until next time, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.